Hi guys, hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Another new video, fresh new video. Yeah, so how have you been? Welcome back. If you are new here, what you have to do is subscribe. Yeah, just click on that red button written subscribe and give it a thumbs up this video if you like it at the end of it. And also don't forget to put on the notification bell. New videos come up every Tuesday and Friday. Let's get right into it. Today we're doing something very interesting, and I'm going to read because I wrote the notes. We're talking about oral sex and HIV. You know, oral sex is one of the things that people shy away from, don't want to talk about, don't admit to doing, and don't admit to even liking. Okay? However, most people tend to have fantasies, and there is a word I am looking for. Not fantasies per se, but it's going. Fetishes. Yeah, fetishes. Some people tend to have weird fetishes that they just want, that is like their own sexual preference, and there is nothing wrong about that. Okay? So, however, to our question of the day, does oral sex transmit HIV and AIDS? So first of all, people get HIV through having sex with an infected person who is not virally suppressed, because there is the aspect of U equals to U. And also people tend to get HIV from mother to child transmission, like the one I had. And people also get through cats, sharing sharp objects with each other. But there is also the blood transfusion, which nowadays has been minimalized. And yeah, however, you cannot get HIV through kissing, you cannot get HIV through sharing toilet seats, you cannot get HIV by sharing the same cup. It is not possible. So, the risk of getting HIV through oral sex is low. You can now start giving each other head and going down on your partner because you had that. I said it. But not non-existence. It's low, but it's not non-existent, because when a person with HIV does not have a fully suppressed viral load, then definitely there is that chance that you might end up getting HIV from them when doing oral sex. So there is that tiny little kathingi that there is that tiny chance that you might get HIV from that person. A lot of research has been done about oral sex and HIV. However, the likelihood that HIV is transmitted from a person living with HIV to a HIV negative person depends on the type of contact involved and the viral load of the person living with HIV. So it all depends with the type of contact and also the viral load. Remember, viral load here is very important. A suppressed viral load, in fact, is a ticket to very many things. Very many things. Trust me, you really need to take care of yourselves and ensure that you have achieved that suppressed viral load. So as we all know, that HIV, the type of oral sex makes a difference to the level of risk, whereby, I told you I wrote these things down so that you cannot forget. HIV transmission through receptive fellatio. I just learned a new word. Fellatio is also another word for oral sex. And there's another one called kalinganas, something of that sort. Google on Urban Dictionary. So, which means a HIV negative person performing oral sex or giving a blowjob to a man with HIV is possible, and it is likely that HIV transmission happens in this way. So if a HIV negative person is giving a blowjob or performing fellatio on a person who is HIV positive, who does not have a suppressed viral load, then definitely there is that risk that they may get HIV through oral sex. Also, HIV transmission through insertive fellatio, which means a HIV negative man receiving oral sex from a person living with HIV is very low risk and may be impossible. Let me explain this practically. If I am giving somebody a BJ and I am living with HIV, my man is not living with HIV, I cannot give them HIV. Okay, but if my man is giving me like a CJ, is doing fellatio. Okay, my man is doing fellatio on me, the chance, if I am not virally suppressed, for him to get infected is a little bit high. Okay, so it all depends with the viral load of the person living with HIV. But if it's the positive person giving it to the negative person, then there is no risk. Okay, so there has not been documented cases of someone acquiring HIV through receiving cunnilingus from someone living with HIV. So there's no documented, there's no proof that a person living with HIV really infected somebody by giving them a BJ. Okay. Most of this all depends with the viral load, whether it is oral sex or the other sex or normal sex, because, or penetrative sex. Sorry, I was looking for that word. Whether it's oral sex or penetrative sex, it all depends with the viral load. Viral load is very, very important. Okay, if you have an undetectable viral load, trust me, you can get away with almost everything, and you will never find anybody telling you, you infected me with HIV, it was knowing. No, because once you're undetectable, there is no going back. You can have raw sex as much as you want, but just don't have multiple partners, because if you do, then you are opening yourself to reinfections, and you are also opening yourself to more to not only reinfections, but to a detectable viral load. So now you stop being undetectable and you become detectable because of the too much sexual activity you're involving yourself in. So try as much as possible to have one partner at least, and also stay virally suppressed. That is your ticket to everything when you're living with HIV. Then nobody feels like you owe them anything, and it is a very beautiful thing. Trust me. Being undetectable is very beautiful. And let me just add one line about being undetectable. A lot of people think that being undetectable is all about taking medication, but remember, ART involves antiretroviral therapy. The antiretroviral, which is the medication, the therapy, which is the well-being, the positive living, the nutrition, and all that. So if you don't have all that together, you might take all the ARVs in the world, but you might never reach undetectable. And if you reach undetectable, then you might not stay undetectable for long, because being undetectable mostly depends on the whole antiretroviral therapy. So just become undetectable, give all the blowjobs in the world that you want, give all the CJs in the world that you want, because hey, nobody's stopping you, okay? However, for homosexual couples, it is usually advised, especially for those ones who use, even for heterosexual couples, for those who use toys in fellatio. I love that word, in fellatio. It is advised that you ensure you disinfect the toys you're using, and so that you can reduce the risk of transmitting HIV between each other, especially these are for both homosexual and heterosexual. Yeah, I know the heterosexual couples who use toys, so if you're using toys, ensure that they are disinfected well, and they are also stored well, so they are clean and disinfected. And you can always use condoms, because condoms are the surest way of preventing any other STI, okay, and unplanned pregnancies. However, there is something I also forgot to mention in this video about sorry, other STIs. A person might not give you HIV, but you might end up getting herpes, you might get gonorrhea and syphilis just by the oral sex part. So don't always go giving BJs and CJs to every Tom, Dick and Harry. Ensure that it is a person you trust 100%. Both of you are clean, both of you, at least if you know that the only problem they have is just HIV, that is one very manageable one, because there is just a very minimal chance of you guys infecting each other. But other STIs might be very brutal, like herpes does not have a cure, it doesn't have medication, and it's very painful. So be careful out there. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe. See you on the next one.